I'm Danny the Teach. This is Beauty Manifested, and I was just thinking, oh, well, first of all, this is a channel for storytelling, so it would make sense for you to subscribe so that you can keep up with the story of my life. If you just watch one video, then it might not really make sense. So don't leave me in comments, because if you haven't seen the whole story, then it might not make sense. Anyways, I wanted to talk today about something I talk about a lot of women with, and it's honestly the notion of just accepting whatever comes your way. Like, we as women, I feel we need to know what we're willing to tolerate and what we're willing to not, what we're willing to entertain and what we're willing to not. So this is why I just thought about this. Definitely in my past dating experiences, and even recently, I said things like, oh my gosh, like 1 million men try to talk to me every day, but for some reason I would choose this one. Like, how come? And honestly, I feel like the reason is just because that person had more follow through than the other guys. So like, obviously a bunch of guys asked for my number. And me, look, I feel that I'm a beautiful girl. I think I have a great personality. I come from a good family. Okay. You know, I have a lot going for myself. But, you know, like, if 10 guys get my number, honestly, probably only like 4, maybe 4 of them will actually like call me, and then, or like they'll probably call or text me, but like we'll have like 1 or 2 conversations that won't go anywhere. Only if 10 guys get my number, and mind you, I don't even give my number to every guy who asks, but if 10 guys get my number, if 20 guys ask for my number, I give my number to 10 of them. Of the 10, only 4 text me or initiate a conversation. And of the 4, only 1 actually ends up taking me on a date, right? So then if I meet a guy, right, and like he's on the outside, he's successful enough for me to even give him my number, and then he follows up, and then he calls me, and then he takes me on a first date, and then he takes me on a second date, and then he takes me on a third date, blah, 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 blah. Like, obviously, I'm gonna build some sort of like bond with this guy, and then things will just get that way. So I feel that in the past, like, basically I would just go with whoever consistently showed up. So basically all a guy had to do in order to get me was, 1, be presentable enough to even get my number and like take initiative to ask, and then 2, he had to have the follow-up to see things through. But as long as he saw things through, there's like a pretty much 99.99999% chance that he could have me. And now, like, I am changing up what I will entertain. Like, I feel like even if there were a few red flags with that guy, like, just the fact that he kept following through was enough for me, because I was like, well, at least he's here, at least he's consistent, at least he's this, like, I can work with him, because these other guys don't even communicate thoroughly. So I'm like, at least this guy's showing up. Maybe there's a few red flags, but I'm willing to work with him. I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm thinking of this one man specifically who I have been dealing with, and he had been communicating really consistently. We've gone on a couple dates, and there's definitely some red flags. There was red flags even like after the first date, honestly. Like, there was just some things that he said were like a little suspicious, and then like his family history was like a little suspicious, and it was just like a couple things. So I was like, well, he is like trying, so I'm gonna work with him. But then on our last date, we had just like this conversation, and I just was not agreeing with his beliefs. Like, I wasn't feeling it, and then his communication after the date was kind of bad. Like, I hadn't heard from him for a couple days, and now he's calling me trying to talk to me. And honestly, it's crazy, because I feel that an old version of me would have been like, okay, when he wasn't talking to me, I wasn't reaching out, I wasn't chasing, I was just chilling. And then now that he's back, I'll explain to him what the issue was. And now I'm like, no, first of all, there's fundamental issues in his values and his belief systems and his family, his genetics, his DNA, like things that I literally cannot change or work on with him, that I don't, like, it's just not gonna work. So even though he's showing up and he's following through and he wants to take me to eat and blah, 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 like, no, like, I don't want to. And then there's another guy who's trying to come back now too. He keeps calling me for business advice, even though I know he doesn't care about my business advice. He just wants to talk to me, and then he keeps trying to, like, he's like, oh, I need to ask you some questions, like, can you meet up next week? No, I'm not meeting up with you. I already told you I have no interest in that. And now he's trying to act like it's for business, but I'm not 18. Like, I know that trick already. So no, I was like, no, we can set up a Zoom call if you want, which is already very nice and generous of me. But yeah, I already told this man I don't want to deal with him. And now he keeps on showing up, trying to take me out, trying to do this, trying to do that. And I already had decided in my mind that we were not aligned and he's not the man I want to be with. And so I'm not going to be bamboozled out of that with both of the guys. Like, and this is a breakthrough for me. And I just was talking with another friend about, like, I don't understand why of all the guys who show up, I connect with these guys. And it's like, because you keep letting them come up after you've seen that he's not your husband. That's the problem. I feel like that's the problem that a lot of women run into. And I feel proud of myself today because the guy called me, I let it ring, and I'm not calling him back. Like, I don't have anything to say. We're just not aligned. The other business guy, he said, let's meet up. You know, I'm hungry. Maybe I wanted to go to a nice dinner. He always takes me to nice dinners. No, I don't want a nice dinner. I want my husband. I don't want to deal with you. My time is valuable. I have other things I can be working on. I need to be studying. I need to be applying for, I have so much stuff I want to do. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. And literally 6 months ago, I would have answered the call. I would have let the guy take me out. I would have played games. I would have gone, like, all kinds of just nonsense and waste of time. I was just not in a focused zone like I'm in now. And I listened to a sermon this morning about being in your season of focus and how focus now buys you freedom later. And that's just where I am. And I'm not even focused on finding my husband, but I'm like very specific. Like, if a man is not showing up the way that my husband would, I do not want him around me. Like, it's draining my energy. Literally. I don't care if he's buying me a car. I don't care if he's buying me a house. Like, you're not my husband. Get away from me. Ew. I'm sick of it. And these are the games that they play. I'm not going for it. It's nonsense. Same thing with friends. I went to a birthday dinner. I was grateful. I'm so happy to be able to celebrate my friends. But I end up spending so much more money than I wanted to stay. I end up staying out way later than I wanted to stay out. And like, that's me not having good boundaries, of course. But it's like, I feel like God is making it so clear to me that I am in my season of focus right now, and it's not the time. And I remember when I was starting my business, I made another video talking about how, like, my life really moves in cycles. So I've been through this cycle before, and I try to make comparisons. And so I was in a cycle when I was starting my business, also in my season of focus, and I didn't see my friends for 2 years, literally, because I had other things to focus on. I was in a new relationship, I was in a new business, and like, it just wasn't the time to be. And I'm a dancer. Like, I didn't dance for 2 years. I didn't do a lot of things because I was focused, and I'm back in that. Like, it's not the time for fun. I mean, working on my goals is fun for me. Hanging out at my house is fun for me. Like, seriously. And I am gonna do a little bit of dating because I'm single. Like, I'm not gonna take 2 years off of dating. That's just ridiculous. So I feel that that would be blocking my own blessings. But I do date men who make it convenient for me, and I try not to go out of my way. So yeah, I don't know what the point of this was, but it was a little ramble, a little rant, and I hope that you'll be able to take a little something from this. If you made it this far in the video, I love you, I love you, I love you. Give me a thumbs up, say hello in the comments so I know that you were here, and be beautiful and be blessed every day of your life. I love you.